So, are we live or not? I don't know. ये व्यूअर्स हिडन क्या होता है? हमारी स्क्रीन क्यों नहीं दिख रही है? हेलो, क्या मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
This land holds nothing but promise for adventurers from all walks of life. Wouldn't you agree?
क्या चल रहा है? Why my screen is not visible?
Walks of life. Wouldn't you agree?
Transform, center vertical, transform, center vertical. But why my game is not showing? क्या चाहिए इसे? अरे हटाओ यार इसे। बढ़िया, तो मैं यही यूज़ कर लूँ, विंडो कैप्चर। ठीक है, ये ठीक है।
Nothing but promise for adventurers from all walks of life.
इसे थोड़ा सा ठीक है। और परफॉर्मेंस मोड में डाल दो उसे मैं।
This land holds nothing
Let's start. इवेंट्स कॉलम की ना आ रही है भाई। ईफा, चलो भाई मेरा ईफा हो जाएगा, मतलब निकल जाएगा, था नहीं मेरे पे। ये गलत है, लोगों को सेकंड हाफ में वेपन निकालने की कोशिश रहेगी। मैं वंडरलैंड तो भाई मैंने खेला भी नहीं तब से, टाइम ही नहीं मिलता। आज कर ही लेते हैं क्योंकि कल ये भी चले जाएगा अपना एक्स्ट्रा रिवॉर्ड भी। आज एक्स्ट्रा रिवॉर्ड भी मिल जाएंगे। ठीक है भाई, मैं तो भूल भी गया स्टार्ट कहाँ से करते थे। मैंने एमिली का अभी तक नहीं खेला स्टोरी क्वेस्ट।
Oh, traveler from beyond this world, will you witness this tale unfold?
यस,
Alice?
एलिस के, हाँ वही एलिस की आवाज़ है।
You recognized me just like that? Maybe I need to work on my impression. Anywho, come to Star Sand Shoal. There's a little something I'd like your help with.
ओके वी आर कमिंग।
Well, it wouldn't be Clay's mom without a hefty dose of mystery, huh? Let's go see what this is about.
लेकिन उससे पहले हम जाएं, ड्यूरिन का स्टोरी क्वेस्ट है, ड्यूरिन को तो ले ले पार्टी में। अम से हटाओ।
Want me to come along?
ट्रैवल एनेबल।
There's
Yes.
still a long road ahead.
आइडो से रेजोनेट कराते हैं इसे। आई थिंक ठीक है यार, ट्राई करो। ओके बाद में कराएंगे, ना वापस घूम के जाना पड़ेगा। Can stories installed later your past adventure? Would you like to quickly go over and yes. About during past receiving a strange fairy tale book, you and Paimon arrived at a wondrous world named Simlanka. There you experience an adventure with your companions. Eventually, you discovered that that world was created based on a fairy tale written by Majum. You would also rescue a little dragon named Durin in the world. Many Durin made friends with you, promising to aid you at some point in the future when you should need it. The once early Wind Bloom festival had come around again, and 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 so you and Paimon set out together for Mondstadt once more. But strange things kept happening. First, you found the residents behaving weirdly. Then, Alvaro was accused of murder. Concerned for your friends. Concerned for your friends, the two of you accepted the invitation to join the investigation. After much investigation, where you uncovered the truth, and the culprit was none other than the dragon that fell onto the snowy mountain. Learning of Albedo existence, the dragon, a fellow creation of Brian daughter, grew intensely jealous. It began plotting in secret to destroy him together. You brought the immediate danger to an end, only to see an even greater threat surface. The dragonspine Durian was about to revive and bring disaster to Mondstadt. Fortunately, Albedo was prepared with a plan, and your friend from the fairy tale world also arrived in Mondstadt to assist. In the end, Through the combined efforts of you and Albedo Durin, the dragon bearing the same name was reborn in the Fallen One's place, and the crisis we finally brought to an end. और लास्ट टाइम चैट्स नहीं आ रही थी, आज ना है वो गड़बड़. What is this corrupted soul? Hello Nova, hello. Welcome to the stream. How are you? कैसे हो भाई?
Traveler in Paimon? I'm sorry. I hope I didn't scare you.
Oh, no, you didn't scare us. Just gave us a little surprise. Looks like you've gotten even more powerful now.
मेरी आवाज आ गई थी. आ रही है भैया. भैया नोवा कहाँ चले गया? बोल हेलो बोल के.
I don't know. It just feels like it's gotten harder to control.
कर क्या रहा
I
है
didn't
ना?
mean to strike so hard. I'm so relieved you didn't get hurt.
It's all good. We've had worse.
It's the abyssal power inside you acting up.
No, don't worry about that. It's been very stable ever since I got this body. Albedo made sure of that. What you saw just now is something that only started happening recently. Maybe I'm still acclimating or something. I'm sure it'll clear up over time. Anyway, what brings you here? Did you need something?
Well,
The day that the writer and the watcher crossed paths was the day that the magic known as storytelling was born.
so, she asked us to come.
Miss Alice?
Oh, you too? I guess I really do need to work on my impression. Well, never mind that. It's been too long, Mini Durin. And please, that's Aunt Alice to you. I have brought you and the Traveler together here for a very important purpose. It has to do with your mom.
My mom?
Indeed, fairy tale author extraordinaire, Anya Marie Andersdaughter. See, I knew this would be right up your alley. Now then, if you'll open the book, I will begin narrating.
Open the book. अगर एलिस बोलते रहेगी तो वही इंटरेस्टिंग रहेगी स्टोरी. The date that the writer and the watcher crossed paths.
Whoa! What is this place? It reminds Paimon of Simulanka.
उससे पहले भी एक इवेंट आया था उसकी जैसी है जो मोना थी जिसमें.
The two are indeed similar. Both worlds were built using the same magic after all.
Alice is here.
Aha! So it is Alice!
Hello, Aunt Alice?
Oh, no need to be shy. Just think of me as one of your mother's dearest friends.
You keep talking about stories and magic. What's this all about? Simulanka 2.0 or something?
Certainly not. Simulanka was a peerless masterpiece. Without the original author, it would be impossible to create a sequel, even for me. But you are right about one thing. Just like last time, I want to show you a work of magic that has to do with storytelling.
What's this?
It's the book we just saw.
This is your mother's dying wish.
My mother's dying wish was a book?
Let me answer that with a question. What do you suppose would be a writer's greatest regret? Have you ever read a book called The Little Witch and the Undying Fire?
I have, but not sure who's wrote it. मैंने नहीं पढ़ी यार.
Oh, well, you're missing out. It's a wonderful book. It began as a little game at our tea parties. Each of us took turns writing the next part of the story. I wrote the first volume, then the other mages took their turns. Em was tasked with writing the final volume and tying everything up. But by the time everyone had finished writing their parts, Em had passed away. Oh, it was a terrible shame. A true tragedy. And that is the answer to my question. A writer's greatest regret is to leave a story unfinished. But all is not
मैंने क्या
lost.
बोला?
I couldn't stand the doom and gloom of it all, so I went ahead and wrote an ending myself on her behalf. And that is the answer.
Then what's this book?
This is the answer your mother gave to the same question. In her eyes, this was her greatest regret. She made me promise that I would bring it to you because she believed the only person who could resolve this regret is you.
So my mother's greatest regret
Hi
is
Pikachu,
another
please.
unfinished story?
Welcome to the stream. कैसे हो भाई? हिंदी आती है ना आपको? Unfinished story.
You could say that.
And I guess resolving the regret means finishing the story?
That's one way to put it.
Oh, is a straight answer too much to ask for?
Her answer was quite the opposite of what I'd expected. But oh, how touching it was. I'd love to tell you what she said, I really would. But that would spoil the plot, and we can't have that. Spoilers ruin everything.
Okay.
Oh,
Fine, we make do with the breadcrumbs. It's hardly the first time you strung us along like this.
Just think of this task as giving a story a much-needed ending. All I ask is that you do your best.
I understand. But I only just started learning human script, and I don't have any writing experience.
Relax. Why else do you think your dear aunt went and found you two such wonderful helpers? With their experience, you'll have so many story ideas you won't know what to do with them. So don't be shy to ask lots of questions.
So that's why we are here. Well, I'm happy to help.
Yeah. If it's to help Durin fulfill his mother's dying wish, then we're in.
Yaar.
With their experience, you'll have so many story ideas you won't know what to do with them. So don't be shy to ask lots of questions.
Aunt Alice, could I ask, what kind of story was my mother hoping to write?
I had a feeling this might come up, but that answer isn't mine to give. You'll have to find it yourself, here inside this book.
Can I get a review of my character? Okay, I will review. Just wait for this scene.
Don't worry. We'll help you come up with loads of ideas. Yeah, let's find a nice spot where
You
we can
tell me
sit
your
and wait
UID
for this
and
scene.
I will review
We
your
could even get
character.
some snacks too.
Oh, the actual process might not be quite the walk in the park you're imagining, Paimon.
Pikachu, do you understand Hindi? You speak Hindi or English? Just part.
Why's that?
Because when Em created this book, she borrowed my magic. In other words, it's not a book you can just pick up and read. It's a magical book.
Yeah, I will review. Just wait for this scene to end.
Its chapters are scattered through memories of the past. Gather them all, and the book will show you its secrets.
हिंदी ब्रो, इंग्लिश टू. ओके यार, ठीक है. हिंदी भी आती है, सब आती है.
So,
मैं
where
नया
are we
स्ट्रीमर हूँ
supposed
ना,
to
मैं
find these
पता नहीं
memories?
कैसे चलती है स्ट्रीम.
Em left a trail of clues for each unfinished chapter. Follow the hints, and you'll find them. Oh, and when it comes to adding to the story yourselves, you'll need to use this.
ये क्या है?
And this is...
This, my dear little Paimon, is the ink Em left behind. Infused with a little of my own magic, of course.
ओके
If you're
भाई,
planning on writing something inside the book, you'll need it.
हम पूरी यूज नहीं कर सकते, स्टोरी वरना आधी अधूरी रह जाएगी अगर ढंग से नहीं लिखा, शायद यही होगा।
It's extremely precious, so be sure to use it sparingly. This is all that's left.
हम्म,
So we need to search for the memories and keep an eye on how much ink we're using.
Oh, it just had to be a wild goose chase, didn't it?
Perhaps it's just another form of storytelling. M was ever so creative when it came to things like that. Just think of it as a little challenge your mom left behind.
पिकाचू अपने इतना यूआईडी लिख दे, मैं सर्च कर लूंगा।
Is at the end of it all.
I don't care about that.
जो यूआईडी होती है ना, जिससे सर्च करते हैं प्लेयर अकाउंट।
Whatever it takes, I'll find a way.
Yep. With the two of us by your side, you'll be just fine.
Okie dokie. That should be pretty much all you need to know. Oh, and once the story's complete, do let me have a little look-see, okay? I've read everything she ever wrote, so naturally, I can't miss this one.
How will we find you?
Yeah. Most of the time, you're pretty hard to pin down.
Don't worry, I'll know when you're finished. Just wait for me to reach out. All right, off you go. I can't wait to hear how the story ends.
मी टू, कैसे स्टोरी एंड होगी है जब हम ही स्टोरी लिख रहे हैं इसमें। We are not playing story anymore. हम स्टोरी बना रहे हैं।
Here we are again. Alice's magic really is incredible, huh?
Let's take a look at this book.
Right. Alice mentioned we should be on the lookout for clues.
A corner of repose for countless tales, watched over by the honor of knights. A place for stories to sleep, perchance to dream of ancient cities and the epics of ages
रुको, मैं बता
past.
रहा क्या होता है यूआईडी।
There, a witch once spent a sleepless night, and all to bring forth a story yet untold. Find the place I speak of, for it is where the seeds of this story lie.
Was that a riddle? Where do you think this mysterious place could be? Hey, you.
ये सीन एंड हो रहा है, मैं सर्च नहीं कर सकता ना
Actually,
कुछ
onto something.
जब तक ये चल रही
Guess
स्टोरी।
that means we need to head back to Mondstadt?
I had a
2
feeling
मिनट रुक
that's
जाओ
where
बस।
we would be headed. After all, it's where my mother was from, and I bet it's where she wrote this story.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Still, I feel bad about dragging the two of you along on such a long journey.
Don't worry about it. We don't really have much going on right now, so we're all yours. Come on, let's go.
ओके, अब बताता हूँ, स्टार्ट हो गया। ये देखो, ऐसे मेन्यू में जाना और ये यूआईडी लिखी होगी, ये बता दो मुझे, फिर मैं सर्च कर सकता हूँ तुम्हारा अकाउंट, फिर रिव्यू कर दूंगा। इसे कॉपी कर सकते हो, यहाँ से कॉपी करके पेस्ट कर दो चैट में। समझ गए?
Terra Smash! Fallen leaves. Adorn my... Story has only just begun!
This is where you
जल्दी करो पिकाचू भाई, मैं स्टोरी कंटिन्यू कर दूंगा वरना। Which homework? Okay, let's see. Which homework भी कर ही लेते हैं। पिकाचू हो जा चले गए। हाँ एक वाई कर दो, कुछ बता दो क्या कर रहे हैं। Um,
Whoa! This is way too many books! Considering this library organizing job is classified as a premium commission, Paimon came mentally prepared, you know? But seeing it in person is something else.
Why, if it isn't Cutie and Paimon? What brings you back to Mondstadt? Let me guess. You missed me so much, you just had to come visit. Is that it?
you saw right through me. Here for business actually. Business के लिए आए हैं भाई।
Found you! We were starting to think you weren't clocking in today.
Well, I wasn't planning to. But then, Catherine mentioned someone had finally accepted an important commission for the library. So I came to check on things.
अरे पिकाचू भाई यूआईडी तो बताओ, यूआईडी यार।
Might you both be here for that very commission by any
मुझे
chance?
बताओ मैं तुम्हारी आईडी सर्च कैसे करूंगा? वॉशरूम गया था। यूआईडी तो बताओ तभी तो सर्च करूंगा मैं आईडी आपकी। Pleased to meet you. You are only once here.
Ah, music to my ears. Now, as you can see, a certain anonymous benefactor has donated a large amount of books to us. Imagine my surprise when a glance down the book list revealed that each one would be an entirely new addition to our collection.
ओके कर रहा हूँ ये।
There are books of all different kinds,
हटने दो
including
बस।
quite a few that are banned. Troublesome, I know. So, this wasn't an odd job I could trust to just anyone. And sorting them myself? My, what a headache that would be. It would take ages.
भूल गया, कोई नहीं भाई होता है।
All that to say, I'm very relieved to see you here. I would treat you to some tea, of course, but looking at the state of this place, perhaps another time, yes?
Don't worry, just leave the commission to us.
You're as sweet as ever, Paimon. Well then, good luck in here. I'll leave you to it.
क्या बकवास है। अरे कुछ एनिमेशन डाल देते हैं।
Finally, we made it to the last stack. What even are some of these books? A Hilichurl's Guide to Running for Your Life? Do Hilichurls even read? Oh, and Basics of Whopper Flower Cultivation. Who'd grow one of those anyway? And what's this one? The Little Witch's Dictionary?
No, and it's not the list
That
reader.
title's kind of suspicious. And didn't we already sort this area? Did you notice it earlier? Huh. Well, witches always make Paimon think of, you know.
Yoo-hoo! Looking for me?
Alice? How did you get in here?
You must not have noticed, Paimon. I wasn't the one who barged in at all. When you opened that dictionary, you entered a mage's domain.
What? Ugh. Paimon knew that book had issues.
Have you ever read the storybook, The Little Witch and the Undying Fire, by any chance?
First I heard of it, I think so.
No matter. At least in name, this book was written as a dictionary for the other one. The actual contents of the two aren't related at all, though.
Ugh.
लगता है बुक भी पढ़नी
Explanation makes
पड़ेगी।
things even more confusing.
Oh dear. Where should I begin? You know the promise the Hexen Circle made to Varka at the Tripartite Conference, yes? Namely, that in Mondstadt's greatest time of need, the mages would return and lend their aid to the nation? Well, Waiting around for danger to descend upon the land isn't exactly our style. Rather than a scenario where we jump in and save the day out of nowhere, it makes more sense to lay the groundwork over time. That's how M put it. Besides, who knows when such a crisis could occur? It could be in the next life, or even tomorrow. Preparation is crucial. So, I gathered the mages together to write this dictionary. Of course,
Sounds like
it had to be under the
a lot
guise
of
of being
work.
related to that storybook. Otherwise, I would never have been able to get them in one place.
So how do we factor in exactly?
Well, we looked into Barbie's scryglass and came up with a series of tasks tailor-made for the people of Mondstadt. They're all in this dictionary. Striving toward a common goal, overcoming obstacles alongside trusted companions, becoming better versions of ourselves. That is the best defense against what dangers could lie ahead.
Oh, you make it sound like something bad is actually about to happen.
Now, I never said that.
Let's see what's
But
going on
still,
here. I
we
should
are
seen this
talking about
coming.
trusted companions here, Paimon. And when we speak of a person who could be considered a friend to all in Mondstadt, I'm afraid the pool of options consists of but one.
Wait, the huge book donation? That was just an excuse to get us here, wasn't it? We had to spend ages sorting through them, you know.
Oh dear, I never could have imagined you would need to go to such trouble.
Uh-huh. Sure you didn't.
Well, this is an important book. I couldn't just bring it into Tevat without taking any precautions. Much better to hide it in plain sight, you see. That's why I donated all those other books to the library. Besides, it's not like this is a bad thing. Just think of it as an excuse to reunite with old friends. And as a favor to your dear Aunt Alice.
Okay. If the goal is to help the people of Mondstadt, then we're in. We'll take the dictionary. And the next time we run into our friends, we'll pass your tasks and stuff along, okay?
Wonderful. Then I'll let you get to it. Have fun.
Have fun. Okay. ओके भाई अब करता हूँ तुम्हारी आईडी रिव्यू हो ना भाई अभी बता दो भाई देखो है तो वरना नहीं करूँगा कर रहा हूँ यार तुम हो या ना हो मैं अपनी यूआईडी की कॉपी कर रहा um 8837 8837 गलत लिख दिया 46113 पिकाचू भाई कौन सा कैरेक्टर रिव्यू करना है बताओ वैसे तो AR60 हो यार तुम्हें क्या जरूरत तुम तो प्रो प्लेयर हो बताओ कौन से कैरेक्टर करनी है बताओ आर्ले ओके 2000 attacks 75 to 59 809 पायरोरस बढ़िया है वेपन ठीक है क्रिट डैमेज एचपी हाँ वेपन पूरा ठीक है आर्टिफैक्ट भी परफेक्ट है 4 पीस फ्रैगमेंट्स ऑफ हार्मोनिक विस्की क्या नाम है विम्जी है इसकी बोल रहा मैं C0 टैलेंट्स 1098 ठीक है यार बढ़िया बिल्ड है अटैक आई थिंक 2200 आई मीन ठीक है यार क्रिट डैमेज क्योंकि तुम्हारा बहुत हाई है क्रिट रेशो भी ठीक है क्रिट रेशो तुम्हारा बहुत ठीक है EM 0 है पर कोई प्रॉब्लम वाली बात नहीं है क्योंकि ये मोनोपायरो टीम में चल जाती है और कोई भी बताओ, और कौन सा करना है? सारे करने हैं क्या, बताओ। सारे तो नहीं होंगे भाई, 2 और कर दूंगा। देख लो। ओके, मैं न्यू बुलेट कर रहा, एक न्यू बुलेट मेरे पे भी है क्योंकि 43241 आई थिंक तुमने वो सेट दिया होगा सर, 4 बेस। यस ठीक है जी। किससे क्रिट रेट मिल जाता है? 12, 24, 36% क्रिट रेट मिल जाता है उससे। यहाँ पे 36 ऐड कर दो। 50, 60, 70, 79, 79, 241। अच्छा क्रिट रेशो है यार तुम्हारा, बहुत कम है यार इसमें। 100 है ही नहीं, कम क्या है ही नहीं यार बिल्कुल। एचपी ठीक है। सेट देख सकते हैं ना। वेट रुको। एचपी 1810, एचपी अटैक, क्रिट डैमेज, एचपी सीआर, डिफेंस। बिल्ड वैसे बढ़िया है पर इम्प्रूव हो सकता है, जैसे कि यहाँ पे देखो एचपी आ सकती थी, सीआर और बढ़ सकता था चाहे तो। अटैक परसेंट की जगह फ्लैट एचपी भी होती तो और बढ़िया होता। पर ठीक है, तुम्हारा ओवरऑल बिल्ड तुम्हारा पावरफुल है बहुत, तो कोई प्रॉब्लम वाली बात तो नहीं है। ओके, ये आर्टिफैक्ट भी बहुत बढ़िया है। तो ये तो हो गया। अबे रिपीट क्यों हो रहा? हाइड्रो डैमेज कोपलेट ठीक है, वर्क बेस्ट, सबसे बढ़िया यही काम करता है न्यूबलेट के साथ। उड़ीना शाओ ये ठीक है, फुड़ीना शाओ। न्यूबलेट तो तुम्हारा ठीक है यार, बहुत बढ़िया है। हाँ फुड़ीना तो ये रही। अरे भाई क्या लगा रखा फुड़ीना पे, यस सोचा ही था। तुम्हारा क्रिट रेशो, क्रिट डैमेज तो ठीक है, बढ़िया है क्या? ठीक क्या, बहुत बढ़िया है। एनर्जी रिचार्ज भी बहुत बढ़िया है। हाइड्रो कॉपलेट नहीं लगा, एचपी है। एचपी होगा, कितनी है एचपी? 35 की है, बढ़िया है। यार यार एचपी गॉबलेट एचपी है, ईआर है, सीडी है, डिफेंस रोल हो रखा है एक। ओके कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं यार, बढ़िया तो है यार। 60 हो तो तुम्हें क्या प्रॉब्लम? बाकी आर्लेकिनो, कौन क्या बोला था? शाओ, शाओ तो है नहीं इधर। शाओ नहीं है यार तुम्हारा इधर, वो रिव्यू नहीं कर सकता। ठीक है यार, तुम्हारे सारे करेक्टर एक्सपेक्टेड था वो मुझे जब AR-60 देखा मैंने। प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं, तुमने इमेजिनेरियम थिएटर भी कर सकता, स्पाइरल अबिस भी करा था ना। हाँ करा ही था शायद। थैंक्स ब्रो, वेलकम।
Back in the Mondstadt
वेलकम
Library, huh?
क्या बोल रहा?
Talk about a trip down memory lane.
इट्स बिन अ वाइल,
So
इट्स बिन अ
we're
वाइल।
supposed to find the seeds of the story, right? What do you think that means?
Well, we're in a library, so it's gotta be books, right? But seriously, there's so many here. How are we
मैं
supposed to know
न्यूबलेट
which
में
ones
बस
we
यार
need?
कम था, उसे बढ़ा लेना।
Making a racket in a library? You should know better than that.
Lisa! Oh, sorry about that.
Now, who do we have here? Ah, my golden-haired cutie. And my little horn cutie, too.
Sorry, Miss Lisa. I know you taught me to be quiet in the library, but Paimon was just trying to help. Please don't be too hard on her.
Well, it has been far too long since we saw each other, so I suppose I can let it slide just this once. Back when he first arrived here, poor Jean wasn't sure what to do with him, so I stepped in to lend a hand. I figured if I can handle a boy raised by wolves, then teaching one who's part dragon should be a walk in the park.
Nice! Sounds like Durin was welcomed with open arms.
Why, of course. Now, let's save the reminiscing for another time. I'm sure you're here for a reason. Did you need to borrow some books?
It's kind of hard to explain. Maybe you could take a look at this.
Oh? Ah, I see. These so-called seeds of the story must be the books that inspired its creation. That's just how it is with stories. They grow out of the tales that came before them. And that mage, I can almost picture her here, hundreds of years ago, scribbling away at one of these very desks.
But we don't know anything about this story. How are we supposed to figure out which books inspired it?
As it happens, just before I found you here, I was looking into something rather peculiar. One of the knights reported seeing some books that weren't listed anywhere in our catalog. Stranger still, just as he went to reach out for them, the books vanished into thin air. And then a while later, while he was browsing through other shelves, there they were again.
Seriously?
That particular knight knows this library inside and out. I'd be very surprised if he was seeing things. Something tells me these might just be the magical books you're after.
It's very possible.
According to the report, there are 3 of these books in total. I'll be relying on you to track them down, cuties.
Please be quiet within the
Let's find the book. Hello, Sajay. Fuck you.
Let's hang on to this one for now. Could be one of the ones we're looking for. It's one of M's, after all. Second strongest spell in existence. Do not show Klee. Wait, there's actually a book like that right here in the Mondstadt library? That title's just gonna make people even more curious. Huh. There's definitely something fishy about this one. An experiment log. Looks like part of the title's been erased. There's something seriously suspicious about this book.
Well, did you manage to...
Kinda looks like a poetry collection. But why is part of the title missing? Let's see what Lisa makes of it.
अब ये कौन सी बुक उठाई हमने?
Oh, wait! Did Klee write this one? Should this even be here? We better show it to Lisa.
ठीक है, बस इतनी ही थी.
Well,
अबे मुझे करना भी क्या था, मुझे तो पता भी नहीं. काउंटर रिव्यू में बिजी हो गया था मैं. आई थिंक एम की हमें जो बुक लिखी है ना, उसने वो बताना था. आई थिंक द बोर्ड प्रिंसेस लिखी है हमने.
well, this book has quite an obvious connection with that mage, considering she
Yes.
was the one who wrote it.
उसी ने तो
But as one of the library's classics, its presence here is hardly unusual. It really is a must-read, so if you haven't read it yet, that's your homework, cutie. Well, did you manage to find them?
This experiment log number. I think it's
Huh.
सारी
This book definitely doesn't belong here.
Yeah, I
काम
can tell
किए
just from
हैं
reading the title.
तभी दी हैं.
Albedo was the one who brought it in. He suggested I place it on the restricted list and keep it sealed away.
Why?
He said it's full of forbidden alchemical formulas, some of which could even result in the creation of dangerous monsters. Apparently, the danger it posed was so great, he didn't even feel like it was safe to carry around or keep it in his workshop.
Really? Definitely sounds like it shouldn't be here then.
Still, if that mage read this book too, it must have been written a lot earlier than I'd imagined. Well, did you manage to find...
Second strongest spell in existence. पहले ये करे Jumpty Dumpty treasure trove.
Well, it definitely shouldn't be here. But I'd highly doubt it's one of the books you're looking for. Because this is something Klee wrote. It's a compilation of all the best fish blasting spots around Mondstadt, as well as the most convenient places to stash her new Jumpy Dumpties. Of course, there's no way she'd get away with keeping a book like that in her bag. And she'd be in big trouble if Jean were to find out. Not only would the book itself be confiscated, but she'd be looking at a whole day in solitary confinement at the very least. Somehow, she figured out that the best place to hide it was right here. No place like a
Yes.
forest for hiding trees,
It's
huh?
a restricted book and
Now,
it's
every
on
time
away.
it gets confiscated,
On
she
way.
just writes a new one and sneaks it back in. Yes. So thanks for helping me find it. I'll finally be able to hand it over to Jean. Well, did you manage to find them?
Yes. Second strongest spell in existence.
Truly extraordinary. And certainly not the kind of thing that should be just lying around. In fact, Miss Alice gave strict instructions about it.
So, it's some kind of book of spells? Paimon's guessing magic this powerful should be kept a secret.
It's true. This book does contain one of Miss Alice's spells. But honestly, virtually no one could actually pull it off, even if they tried. The only reason it's even meant to be in the restricted section is because we can't let Klee get her hands on it. After Klee was born, Miss Alice advised us to seal it away. She even added that little subtitle herself.
So, it's to keep it away from Klee, huh? Does that mean she could use it to cause even more mayhem than she already does with Jumpy Dumpty?
No, that's not it. As Miss Alice herself put it, letting Klee see it too early would spoil the surprise. Well, did you manage to find them?
Yes, I managed to find them. Versus. Better keep looking.
Yes, this is a restricted book, all right. It certainly isn't supposed to be here.
Huh. But it looks like a regular poetry collection. How did it end up being classified as a restricted book?
The issue lies with one of the poems inside. You've heard of the great battle that took place on Dragonspine 500 years ago, during the Cataclysm in Conria. An evil dragon descended upon Mondstadt. A fierce battle with Dvalin ensued. But in the end, the evil dragon fell, and Dragonspine became its resting place.
Durin के
We're
बात हो
talking
रही
about
है.
Durin. The Durin of Dragonspine.
Well, the poem in question turns the whole battle into a dance, with the evil dragon recast as an innocent child who came here in search of friends. But given all the suffering experienced at the claws of that dragon, how could the people of Mondstadt accept such a retelling? Bards are often accused of inventing history or distorting the truth in their ballads. But this one hit a bit too close to home. And since the knights back then were unable to track down the author, they decided to ban the entire collection, blot out the title, and seal it away for good.
So the version in the poem, it was all a lie?
I'm afraid that question is something only the dragon himself could answer.
And himself would answer.
Well, would you look at that? Seems like these are the little troublemakers you're after. and all three just so happen to be forbidden texts. What kind of story requires reference material like that, I wonder?
Forbidden texts? You know, the first time you mentioned that the library had a restricted section, Paimon thought you were just trying to scare us. Are you saying it actually exists?
Yes.
Not really something you should be poking your little nose into, is it, cutie?
Sorry.
Seeing as it was Miss Alice who asked you to look for these books, I won't question the matter. But they'll need to be sealed away again once you're done, so don't forget to return them.
Don't worry, Miss Lisa. I won't forget.
Well then, that's all from me. After all that hard work, I think I've earned myself a nice cup of tea.
All right, we've gathered all the reference books. What's next?
Wait, look!
ओपन सच बताऊं तो मन नहीं करता खेलने का अब भूख लग रही बहुत ये सब तो C6 है एडिसर को इनवाइट करो कंप्लीट मेरे रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन है सब वेट ओके डोरिन का स्टोरी क्वेस्ट पे मुझे लगा था वही चल रहा अभी विच होमवर्क
Long, long ago, an evil dragon descended upon the human world,
Durin
bringing terrible calamity in its wake. Bravely did the people resist, until at last, the dragon lay slain.
मारा किसने था
A
पर
witch with a love for
Durin
stories
को
came upon the tale of the evil dragon, and for reasons she could not explain, felt a pang of sorrow on its behalf. For she knew, despite its body being born of wicked alchemy, all along, the dragon's soul was that of an innocent child. Right up to the moment of its death, it had no choice in becoming a vessel of calamity, nor could it fathom the cruel fate that lay before it. Though the witch had a love of stories, she was not pleased with how this one ended. No, that won't do, she thought. I'll write you a better ending instead. And so she set off to do just that, borrowing a little magic from her friend. With it, she wove a dragon's egg, resolving to rear a dragon child of her own. Yet long in thought she lingered, wondering what kind of world her little dragon ought to behold upon waking.
वही आ गया जिससे ड्यूरिन पैदा हुआ What should be used to adorn his cradle अरे भाई स्टोरी लिखनी होगी मुझे Wisp Wonderland here Trace of Placial अरे भाई मेरे इसका मतलब भी नहीं पता रुको भाई 10 out of 10 स्टोरी लिखूंगा मैं सर्च करने तो मतलब पहले इसका Trace of collateral splendor शाही वैभव का निशान. What should be used to adorn his cradle? Wisp of woodland air. I think ये लेंगे हम.
At last, she made her
समझ नहीं आ
mind
रहा
up,
कुछ.
adorning the cradle with a trace of palatial splendor. Then, she quietly waited for the egg to hatch.
ठीक है. हमें भी इंतजार कराओगे?
Whoa!
What is
We're
this
actually
place?
inside the story.
This must be Aunt Alice's magic.
That was the opening we just heard, right? Sounds like the story is about Durin.
Yeah.
A story about me?
Why don't we just see where the story takes us? All we know is the beginning at this point.
Okay.
अबे ये तो वो है.
And now, a golden-haired traveler, a silvery
क्या नाम है?
sprite, and a dragon-born youth step onto the stage. What new chapter will their arrival bring?
ये है थोड़ी यहाँ पे असलियत में.
Whoa! That came out of nowhere. Was that the same voice we heard just now?
Sound like the stories one has its own narrator.
Yeah. But why does it sound so familiar?
I've missed this. It's just like the stories my mother used to tell me.
You mean... Em? She used to tell you stories?
Yeah, she loved it. Back when she was still alive. Sorry, we should focus on what we're here to do. So, now that we're in the story, what's next?
The dragon youth wondered aloud. Yet all he could do was wait for the story to unfold. Of course, there's something to be said for helping it along. Perhaps a little exploration could prove fruitful.
Oh! Is that a hint?
Let's follow her suggestion for now.
Yeah, I agree.
I think ये बहुत लोगों को पता होगी ये स्टोरी. क्योंकि अभी तक कुछ नया है तो बस ये सीन ही है जो चल रहा है.
This must be the dragon egg, right? Looks like it's gonna hatch any moment now. So we've got a dragon egg about to hatch, a witch who loves stories, and that evil dragon we heard about at the beginning. Yep, it all adds up.
This is my story, isn't it?
Sure looks like it.
Okay, so how are we supposed to help the story along? It feels like all we can do right now is wait.
Apparently, it hadn't dawned on the group to look for a way to help the egg hatch faster.
Oh, right! We're at the point in the story where we're waiting for the baby dragon to hatch. So that has to happen before the story can continue.
And how do we do that?
With the flames at his command, perhaps the dragon youth might be able to provide the egg with sufficient warmth.
What? You want us to roast the dragon egg?
The silvery sprite's surprise betrayed her lack of reading. For in countless tales, it is told that only by fire's embrace will a dragon's egg hatch swiftly.
शायद तभी इसे वहाँ रखा गया था ड्रैगन स्पाइन पे शायद.
Huh, you
ताकि ये
have a
ड्रैगन
point
हैच
there.
ना हो जल्दी. Wanna give it a try, Durin.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
अबे वही चल रही ना स्टोरी, कुछ और तो नहीं है ये. मैं बेवकूफ बन रहा. ओके अपनी एक इंक जाएगी. कोई प्रॉब्लम ही नहीं है पर यूज फ्लेम्स टू हेल्प द लिटिल ड्रैगन ब्रेक आउट ऑफ द शेल. संडर. कुछ हुआ क्यों नहीं? चलो. Thunder. Hello. What I have to do?
for the end.
Clearly, both the golden-haired traveler and the dragon youth were eagerly awaiting the little dragon's birth. Though perhaps their longing burned a little too brightly.
Use flames to help the little dragon
Such
break out of the.
fiery
अबे तो ये
anticipation
क्या
might
है?
itself become a blessing.
ये आग नहीं है तो ये क्या है? अब हो गया. जी भी है.
At last, under the witch's expectant gaze, the little dragon broke free from its shell. No living being has
Okay,
ever
Durin की story
decided
है
the
ये.
moment of its birth. You were no exception, my child.
वेट यार मैं स्टोरी भूल चुका हूँ. याद नहीं आ रही.
I brought you into being because I willed it so. Just like the witch who created that evil dragon.
I brought you into being because I willed so, just like the witch who created the evil dragon.
But I promise you this. Your birth was wanted. You are loved. And you will have a different fate than the dragon that came before you.
You've never told me those things before, but for some reason, I always knew.
रुको यार मैं ना ये सीन खत्म होने दो. मैं ना पहले बुक पढ़ूंगा द बोर्ड प्रिंसेस और वो बाकी जितने भी बुक थे वो सब पढ़ूंगा पहले. समझ नहीं आ रहा है तो कुछ. मुझे देखना है उसमें है क्या आखिर. मैंने पढ़ी तो है वो वैसे यूट्यूब में देखी और पढ़ी भी है शायद पर्सनली खुद, पर मैं भूल रहा हूँ क्या क्या था उसमें.
Thank you for bringing me into this world.
उसके बाद मैं थोड़ा सा ब्रेक लूंगा ये बुक पढ़ने के बाद.
The waiting witch
खाना
did
वाना
not
खाऊंगा.
feel lonely, for she had 3 visitors by
उसके
her
बाद
side.
करेंगे स्टोरी को कंटिन्यू.
Together, they beheld the hatchling's first breath of life. Holding her dragon child close, the witch promised him a life unlike that of the evil dragon.
ऐसा तो नहीं
And
था यार
so,
स्टोरी में कुछ.
nestled in his mother's warm embrace, did the little dragon's story begin.
There's a witch once spent a sleepless night and all it bring forth story yet. पढ़ा भी नहीं मैंने.
Isn't this Mondstadt? Looks like we're back in the real world.
रियल वर्ल्ड नहीं है, पुरानी वर्ल्ड है.
Looks like there's more written on the page now and less ink left than before. So, does that mean we've completed this chapter?
So it's a Durin story after all. Yes, Durin की story है, or at least a window into his past.
Yeah, but why does M seem to think that the story isn't finished yet?
वह मर गई थी वो. बताया तो था एलिस ने. Unfinished story.
Durin broke free from the curse, came into this world with a new body, and even made a bunch of new friends. That already sounds like a happy ending to Paimon.
यस वो पूरी स्टोरी लिखनी चाहती थी शायद कि डूरिन का जन्म होगा, ये होगा, वो होगा. आई थिंक वो फ्यूचर के बारे में भी लिखती. क्लोज इन द फॉलोइंग चैप्टर्स. बट अब हम एज अ फ्यूचर खेल रहे हैं. हम पास्ट में अनवेल करेंगे सब कुछ.
True. Everything's always so mysterious with these mages. Guess all we can do is wait for more clues.
Huh.
Is this thing on? All right, that should do it.
Hey, that's Alice's voice.
Hello there, children. If you're hearing this, you've stumbled upon the little recording I left for you. I thought you could use a few hints about how the book works. By now, I'm guessing you've already begun to leave your mark on the story. You should know, however, that the book needs time to absorb the ink, so the next chapter's clues won't show up right away.
नहीं भाई ये वो तो नहीं है.
Magic ink needs time to dry.
The good
Wait.
news is, you can return to any chapter you've already completed and continue to explore the mystical, magical storybook world You have fun, dearies. Toodles.
आई थिंक मैंने एक थंबनेल में देखा था 5 दिन वेट करना पड़ता है स्टोरी खत्म होने के लिए। मतलब ऐसी बनाई है कुछ स्टोरी। ये अभी से आ गया, मुझे लगा एंड में होगा ये स्टोरी के।
Oh man! Paimon was so ready to knock this out in one go.
तो मतलब आधी स्टोरी हमारी कल पूरी होगी, ऐसा कुछ है। 5 दिन आना पड़ेगा मुझे लॉग इन करना है स्टोरी
Maybe
खेलने के
it's
लिए।
for the best. Sooner or later, we'll end up being whisked off to another world again, and
अरे भाई
if that
परसों तो वो आ रहा
happens,
अपडेट।
who knows when we'll be able to come back.
मुझे उसके लिए ड्यूरिन की स्टोरी जाननी थी क्योंकि उसमें ड्यूरिन भी होगा।
So it might be good to take a break while we can.
A break.
चलो कोई नहीं, मुझे भी वैसे ब्रेक ही चाहिए था। गेस हाउ एज गुड एज द टाइम एज एनी, क्योंकि अभी तक तो पास्ट की स्टोरी ही
Paimon
चल
has a
रही
sudden
थी
craving for the good
तो मुझे
hunter's
पता ही
sticky
थी
honey
इतनी।
roast. And we happen to be in Mondstadt, so...
So let's meet up here later. I need to find Miss Lisa to return those books anyway.
इससे बड़े सिमुलांग का परमानेंट दे देते हैं। इंटरल्यूड ए मोमेंट टेस्ट वेट फॉर द बुक टू रिवील हिंट्स फॉर द नेक्स्ट।
Aunt Alice said we can return to the story world at any time. If you feel like checking it out again, just come find me.
अरे
Aunt Alice, if you feel like check.
ओपन बुक, स्टेप बैक इनटू द स्टोरी एक्ट 1 बर्थ। यस ये बर्थ की स्टोरी चल रही है, ये सबको ही बताया आई थिंक। अगर तुमने सिमुलांग का खेला है तो, या फिर अगर तुमने लोर भी पढ़ी है तो तब भी तुम्हें पता होगा। Bring a fourth story yet to untold.
Huh. Paimon doesn't remember seeing this many
She must
manuscripts
have
last time
published
we
this
were
one
here.
letter.
So, she wrote this many books even after Durin was born? What's weird? Is it just that Paimon hasn't read enough, or were none of these ever actually published? Wonder which story these are for.
Beats me, maybe it's one we haven't read yet. पढ़ो भाई पढ़ो।
Looks like a lot of work went into it, so it must be a
Witcher
pretty
के बारे
great
में
one.
लिखा होगा इसमें। क्या मैं पढ़ सकता हूँ ना? नहीं। Wait for the book to reveal hints for the next chapter. Yes. कल ही रिवील होगा वो आई थिंक 24 आवर का टाइम है कुछ। अब पता नहीं कितने का होगा, मुझे नहीं पता। उससे बाहर निकलो। इससे बढ़िया ना बुक पढ़ते हैं। बैग में क्या है मेरे? विच होमवर्क बाद में करूंगा इससे तो। क्या दिखा रहा है? अच्छा अरे सबका दिखाएगा क्या? ठीक है हो गया ना, अभी भी नहीं हुआ। हो तो गया था। अच्छा ये लेट्स ओपन अवर पैक। मैं भूल भी गया कहाँ से खुलता था भाई आर्क। तो हम कौन सी बुक पढ़ने वाले थे? द बोर्ड प्रिंसेस, पेरिन हैरी ने एक बार पढ़ी थी, बड़ी क्या थी स्टोरी। यार एक सर्च बटन दे दो ना, मैं सर्च कर लूंगा ऊपर। कलेक्टेड, अबे यार वो उसमें भी नहीं है, क्या बोलते हैं, ऑर्डर में भी नहीं है किसी, ABCD ऑर्डर जो होता है सब आगे पीछे है। रेक्स इनकॉग्निटो पढ़ेगा, रेक्स इनकॉग्निटो पढ़ता है मैं, पता नहीं क्या होगा इसमें। भाई साहब ये तो कुछ बहुत ही बढ़िया है क्या, जोंगली के बारे में ही तो होगी। छोड़ो भाई, नहीं पढ़ना है इसे, चुपचाप जिस काम के लिए आए हैं वो करते हैं। द बोर प्रिंसेस ये रही। हाँ चलो, ये छोटी है, 7 पार्ट भी तो हैं इसके, 7 वॉल्यूम। लेट्स स्टार्ट। In the midst of ages past, every living being in this world had its own kingdom. Mons that was a forest in that age. Playground of the boars. Oh, I think ये जेंशिन मांगा में दिखाया गया है। In the forest was the boar kingdom where everybody lived happily under the reign of the boar king. The king had a lovely young daughter who had the prettiest snout, the whitest tusk, and the smoothest fur in her whole kingdom. The boar princess, beautiful and kind, gave the juiciest and sweetest fruits to her subject every day, from sweetened sour berries to crisp apples to delicious tree mushroom. The boar princess always shared her delicious first with her friends. मैंने अभी पढ़ना स्टार्ट करा, मैं अभी से सोच रहा हूँ और थिंक कर रहा हूँ इसमें क्या है, क्या होगा, क्योंकि जैसे ही मैंने यहाँ पे बोर्ड पढ़ा ना, मैंने कहा भाई ये बोर्ड कहाँ से आ गए, क्या ये वो तो नहीं है फाउंटेन वाला जैसे वहाँ पे सब वो होते हैं, क्या थे यार, ओशियनेट्स, और उन्हें कर्स मिल रखा था कि वो इंसान जैसे रहे, कर्स नहीं था वो ऐसे रिक्वेस्ट थी, पता नहीं क्या था वो, मतलब उन्होंने ऐसे विश करी थी ना अपने गॉड से, हमें भी ह्यूमंस की तरह रहना है, पर असलियत में ह्यूमंस नहीं थे। तो मैं वही सोच रहा हूँ यहाँ पे भी वही केस है, क्या वो पढ़ के पता चलेगा। फ्रॉम स्वीट एवरी बोर्ड in the kingdom about their king and princess, and very day they praised them so. Oink oink, bless our king, as long he reigns over us, all will never starve. Oink oink. Bless the gentle animal Archon for giving our king such a kind and polite princess. There are some words in the margin written in a tiny handwriting. Dada. If I don't eat candy after night and I pray every day, every day होता है कुछ, आई डोंट नो, या फिर ये स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक है। सर्च करते हैं व्हाट इज एवरी डे का क्या होता है, मतलब एवरी डे। आई थिंक ये स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक है। यस इट्स स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक। भाई मैं पहली बार जेंशिन में कोई मिस्टेक ढूंढी है। पिछले 5 साल से खेल रहा है गेम, 5 साल के बाद मैंने कोई मिस्टेक ढूंढी है गेम में, वो भी एक वर्बल वर्बल सॉरी रिटन मिस्टेक, कुछ गलत लिखा है। कहाँ था मैं, एवरी डे अबे कहाँ गया। Margitine handwritten order because कहाँ चले गया अपना एवरी डे ये रहा। एंड आई प्रे every day will I turn into a wild piggy. I want to be a wild piggy because they are so tasty. अबे ओके ये इंसान ही है ये, आई थिंक कुछ होगा इनका किंगडम में, होता है अपने कुछ पता नहीं क्या होता है। North of the boar forest was a frozen tundra. North of the boar forest, स्नचना की बात हो रही क्या? The playful barbados had not reached those lands, so they remained covered by ice and snow. Okay, I think ये स्नचना की बात हो रही। Every creature who ventured these risks, freezing their paws and hopes of it's cold. It's freezing my clothes are यार क्लोज ही, अबे ये इंसान है जानवर है क्या है ये, माई क्लोज are going to shatter even the bravest. Okay, उन्होंने बोर्ड लिखा था ना, ये बोर्ड ही है, मैं बोर्ड मान के ही चल रहा हूँ. Claws are going to shatter even the bravest, strongest board king could not withstand the frigid tundra. Oink oink oink. My frozen snot is turning purple. There lived but a single lone wolf pup in that place. The childish handwriting at the bottom of the page reads, Dada. Why does the little doggy have paws that don't freeze off in the cold? The pup was a carefree child who had bright blue eyes and a sickly fur. When he got angry, he looked exactly like the wolf had relieved top the monster at Cathedral. But one day, when he was hunting in the forest, he ran into the evil squirrel. So silver Wabakawa on all the beings in the ancient world, none ever more evil than Wobakawa. Wobak Bakunawa. क्या है Bakunawa? Not even demons and dragons. Wabakawa, despite everything nice and swore to transform beauty into ugliness, turn light into dark. At the sight of the joyful wolf, anger boiled inside him. He cursed, squeak, squeak, angry, and shall spiked his heart. With the coldest eyes, he will never again know the meaning of hope. With this, that chill, Wobakawa began the curse that pup with his magic, but rash pup gathered him up, fluttered. Without the slightest warning, Wobakawa was so furious that he cursed the pup using the most foul and insulting words ever uttered by a squirrel. The pup felt the noise coming from his mouth, and only then did he realize his mistake. Aro, I'm so sorry, Mr. Squirrel. I thought you were edible. The pup wished to apologize to the squirrel, but the felt his throat tighten and then loosened the squirrel slid down to his stomach with. अरे ये तो a sheet of paper bearing fine handwriting is strapped this pale lily. This was why you should eat cautiously when you are outside. Okay, ये हमने लिखी है. और ये क्या फेरी टेल बुक है क्या? आई डोंट थिंक ये फेरी टेल बुक है क्योंकि मैंने इसके बारे में तारीफें सुनी है. आई थिंक इसमें लोर है खतरनाक बहुत सारी. अभी आगे के वॉल्यूम पढ़ते हैं. नो वन knew just what chemical reaction occurred into the pup's tongue, but Wobaka's curse magically came into effect. Because of the curse, the pup heart was pierced and frozen by an icicle. The pup became cold and mean forever after that. Whenever other animals showed kindness to him, he would repay them with the hardest of the world, said the most woeful of deeds. In the end, every animal loathed him. From then on, every wolf in the forest spoke of the pup in the way wolf that the shelf is wolf. He is such an wretched. क्या है? But his heartless wolf, his let us stay away from him. One by one, the pup lost all of his friends. The forest welcomed that lonely pup no more, so he had no choice but to head north. The blizzards that blew in the northern tundra kept most creatures away, but his heart's already frozen solid. The pup was no longer afraid of the cold. He decided to settle down there and became the lone wolf that named the tundra. A jungle has written in the corner of the page, Dada. But where did Wobakwa go? One day the boar princess heard about the pup and was deeply saddened by his story, so he asked her people her advice on how to deforest his heart and turn him back to his former sweet self. She asked and asked, but why only the wise fox and the elderly turtle knew the answer. Egg, only sincerity and fire could melt such evil eyes. Egg. The fox replied, friendship demands sacrifice. Friendship demands sacrifice. No friendship comes without sacrifices. I apologize for not knowing how to make funny sounds. The trustworthy grandpa turtle said. The clever bow princess knew right away what she had to do. She dried her tears and curtsied to the two wise animals. Oink, that I would like for you to come and see the pup with me, so that you can be the first witness of a friendship. When the fox and the turtle heard the boar princess was willing to invite them on a royal trip, their hearts were filled with joy. They set out the princess and headed north. handwritten note seemingly from the young girl. Father is tapped in this page. Turtles can't make noises no matter how hard they try. The reason Grandpa Turtle apologizes for all this is just because he is very polite. And so the princess of her two wise companions arrived in the snow-swept hinterland of the far north, ice and snow-covered land as far as the eye could see. Neither the biggest privileged animal nor even the special weasel, who is the most skilled digger of all them all, could find so much as a single blade of soft grass or a single piece of juicy fruit. The princess was shivering from head to tail in the freezing cold, yet she was undaunted. Without even looking back, she pressed on deeper into the frozen wasteland. The wise fox and the trustworthy turtle could not bear the piercing wind and the freezing snow. They begged of the princess, if His Majesty the King knew that you were adventuring to such a cold and dangerous place like this, he would be very worried. Let's head back home, exclaimed the fox. Yes, I agree. I fear the snowstorm will get stronger and colder with each passing second. Let us at least rest a while and continue our journey once the wind has stopped and, and the sun is out. Once again, I apologize for not knowing how to make funny sound, reasoned the turtle. It was to no avail. The persevering princess did not heed the advice of her wise companions, but insisted that they continue to press on into the bitter cold of the far north. For what nobler cause could ones pursue in the world than rescuing lost kin and rekindling lost friendship? Onwards they continued through the ice and snow, still under their paws and hoofs were purple from the cold, until each breath they exhaled turned into ice, which became one with the swirling blizzard around them. Then at the icy peak of the tall mountain next into the frozen river, which is plight oblivions, the white witch, iceless rather than water, the princess met a spirit swaying to and fro in the freezing wind. An ancient race of wise spirits live atop the ice-capped mountains. They had no physical form, but possessed great magical power. Oink oink, are you master of this place? Please, oh spirit, could you guide us through this snowstorm? The princess politely posed her question as her robes, now numb from the cold, trembled in the snow. The wise fox and the trustworthy grandpa turtle also looked spiritually, splendidly, पता नहीं क्या मतलब होता है उसका, at the spirit of the snowstorm as they gazed their paws and flippers respectively, numb from cold, trembled in the snow. Whoosh whoosh. The spirit of the snowstorm spoke softly, of course, but whoosh whoosh. In return, I will sap your energy. The further more forward you go into the storm, the more tired and hungry you will become. Though I assure you, it will not be life threatening. I hope, whoosh whoosh. Uncoin, this is after all the spirit of the snowstorm, pondered the princess, and I am also in the, in the company of the two wisest, most caring members of family. Whatever may happen, they will always be able to find a way. Without a moment hesitation, the princess granted the spirit of the snowstorm her request. The wise fox and the trustworthy grandpa turtle had no time at all formulate, let alone articulate any demonstration. Oink oink, I too declare this tale a fair one. Now lead us to the wolf pup. And so the spirit turned into an ice stream and carried the preserving princess over the tall mountain. Okay, last volume. After venturing through the bitter cold and the swirling storms, the poor princess finally saw the pup. Covered in ice, the poor pup, once bright blue eyes, had grown dim, and he had all but forgotten how to bark. Taro, you have come at the right moment, for I haven't had lunch yet. Hearing his words, the kind poor princess could not help but shed tears. Her warm tears seemed to melt a little of the ice at the tip of the pup's head. Out, why are you crying? Going, you are going to starve out here. I have never seen such misery in my kingdom. I will sacrifice everything to feed your hungry belly. The pup was stupefied by her words. Saru, miss, you must be mad. No one has ever dared such a thing to me. But when the pup saw the determination in her eyes, his frozen heart melted. Some more, no, that's why. I will sacrifice two of the wisest and most caring members of my village just to feed you. It's for the sake of our friendship. The fox knew what horror she meant and attempted to run, but the wasp spined the ground of the pup and the poor princess grandpa. Turtle was so frightened by the sight that he retreated to his shell. That the retreat into his shell. The pup and the poor princess enjoyed delicious appetizer of fox out in the snow. The next, they found a cave, picked a few mushrooms, built a fire with some moss, and treated themselves to a vast turtle soup. The pup felt the delight of sharing and making friends for the first time. He could remember his frozen heart melted completely and he shed tears of joy. The princess took the pup by his paw and two merrily returned to their home. Wedged between the last two pages is a card bearing elegant handwriting. Honey, I think it would be the best if we donated this one to the library. भाई कुछ तो समझ ही नहीं आया। आई थिंक यहाँ पे हर एक एनिमल एक करेक्टर को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा था, इतना समझ आया है बस। बट ये करेक्टर है कौन? ठीक है, मैंने बोर्ड प्रिंसेस पढ़ लिया पूरी। आई थिंक ये प्रिंसेस सरिस्ता की बात तो नहीं हो रही है, वही है एक हर मैजेस्टी द सरिस्ता। Chapter 5 Act 6 Traveler Song of the Welcome on Prelude इंटरल्यूड कहाँ है? इंटरल्यूड तो था ही नहीं। A nation that doesn't exist. कांडा की बात हो रही है। आर्काइव एंट्रीज अनलॉक। ओके, आई थिंक यही था यार जो मैं कर सकता था। अब ये वेट तो बैंक में कल तक करना होगा।
The sky in Natland.
Ad Astra. Thank you for completing.
और वो प्ले स्टेशन पे कौन सा नया मैसेज आया? हियर कम्स द सरित्सा। सरित्सा आ रही है तो भाई तो कुछ ज़्यादा खतरनाक अपडेट हो जाएगा। बस पार्लर लविस करना था। 3 दिन बाद जा रहा ना, चलो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आराम से करेंगे।
Staring into my eyes is ill-advised. I can't promise you'll like what you see.
कितने रेड हो गए मुझे? ठीक है यार, एंड करते हैं। 3 घंटे पता नहीं कब हुए मुझे।